Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3DMs in a Tale. My name is Aaron. I'll be your host for today. 3DMs in a Tale is a D&D inspired improv show where I, your host, have gathered together 4 DMs of notable experience, and we're all going to dance together, actually, because I'm playing this time. We've gathered here at the lovely We Geek Tavern, the Provo Town Center Mall, owned by the lovely Andrew. And go ahead, everyone, starting with Michael. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I am Michael. I also go by Blackstag GM. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
I'm Colton. I am the Warbeard DM, also on TikTok and Instagram.
Hi, I'm Ryan. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and with our podcast, it's Dads and Dragons.
I'm Lillian. I'm currently working on a DM name. I know it will have to do with Faye. I don't know what it is yet. And at the moment, no socials.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for that lovely round of intro. So, basic premise for this show is that I will not be head DM in this one, but the basic premise is that I'm going to get a 4-sided die. The numbers for this one are going to be 1 for Michael, 2 for Colton, 3 for Ryan, and 4 for Lillian. Whichever person the die lands on will become the head DM. They will then be prompted to provide like a genre and a theme to sort of help everyone sort of guide themselves into the world and what kind of character they're going to play, because all the rest of us are going to instantly become players, playing characters inside of this world, and trying to aim at like the theme of the story as provided. And I don't think I'm missing anything else on that intro. Should be good to go. So, last time we were here in We Geek, it was Ryan.
It was me.
We are hoping to dodge. Colton wants it. He did the stats. That's a 1. That's a 1. Cut there. Michael's going to be the head DM because I want you to know Michael called it was going to be you Sunday. When we were recording.
Again?
He called it.
Again?
He called it.
On Sunday, I was like, Ryan is going to get it no matter what. It's his.
It should come up 3 first
You
every
haven't
time.
So, all right. Well, let's see. Okay, I've already got an idea in mind. We're going to do Magitech, or otherwise known as Hextech. You guys have played League of Legends.
Yep.
Very much kind of a similar premise. Everything is going to be high fantasy with technology, and it's a fun amalgamation. Let's see. As far as a theme, let's say... see, we've done a lot of fun kind of little stories, so we'll do this. You guys are all part of a Magitech airship
Oh.
currently going floating through the floating aisles of we'll say Eaststock, the grand floating city. And you know what, just for the hell of it, there are kaiju battles happening underneath you.
Oh, great.
There are like several Godzilla-type creatures just, battling it out underneath you. It's a very tumultuous location underneath you. Don't want to go down that way. And you're high in the sky. So, let's start with Colton. What is your character's name?
Name coming. That's his name.
Coming?
Name coming.
Name coming.
Yes.
But his name
I don't know how to read this. I can't. I don't know how to read this.
I'm just going to point out there are some rules over in that board. I think you might need to reread them.
C-O.
I understand.
Yes.
That doesn't help. It doesn't help in how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
You can be ashamed, but
Okay.
we're okay. Senior Cumming, what are you doing?
Parents were not the brightest.
Gotcha. All right.
He is extremely more intelligent than his parents.
All right. Ryan.
I will be playing Lord Alessander Pennyworth the Third.
And
Lillian.
I am a Rocket City redneck in that I am an incredibly smart rocket scientist, but I speak like a redneck kid.
Got it. And redneck engineering is probably somewhere in this ship.
Likely
All right.
due to me.
So for the purposes of this is a ship owned.
Oh, is it owned by him?
I was
You
gonna say
keep setting it up,
owned
yeah.
by Lord. What was it?
Repeat it.
Alessander.
Lord Alessander,
Like
right?
Alexander, but with an S.
It'll
Yes.
help all of us. Repeating names repeatedly would be a good name. Lord Alessander coming. And then what was yours?
Call me
again?
Nathan.
Piper. Piper, but with an accent. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't gotten my name yet. I know what I am, but I don't know my name yet.
Ryan.
Ryan's Outlord Alessander.
I can be
And Aaron.
I'll just be Tyler. I'm a nervous navigator aboard Lord Alessander's ship, and so I have my charts and everything's like neatly organized. But unfortunately, I deal with nuts on this ship, and they're rockets that try to threaten my maps.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm also deathly scared to fall off the ship and end up down in the kaiju battle. I'd survive the fall with like a skyjacker, but I don't trust my. I might die of panic if I end up down in the kaiju battle.
Yeah, not good.
It's like more of a you problem.
And naming.
Name.
What are you doing on
I'm,
the ship?
Yeah, I'm just a part of the anti-aircraft team.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So, yeah, you guys are currently on this ship. You've been hired by the Royal Science Academy of Eastock to explore some of the fringe islands around. Lord Alessander, you're the head of this ship, not the captain, but the financier.
Right.
The captain, the captain, his name will be Rorik.
That sounds like a captain name.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Rorik, and he's a bit of a gruff kind of guy, but he knows what he's doing, and he's taking you to the floating isles near Eastock. Your mission essentially is there's an island in particular that looks like it has some incredible magical type circuits, crystals that will overwhelmingly expand Eastock's ability to adapt and create new technology,
Right.
as well as some of the more well-to-do may or may not have an increase in their total profits coming towards them if you are successful. On the way there...
So we're not fighting on this trip. We're just going to get things, right? Right? That's all we're doing? We're not going on any...
no, Rorik, he's very clear. He goes, we're just gonna... There's no pirates, raiders, or any other type of
Oh, thank God. It's to be a
problematic
normal
issues.
trip.
You
A,
take
a
out all the
normal...
fun.
Okay. That is not fun. That's
is very
that is.
fun.
We almost died the last time we went over to Unicorn Island. Okay, I don't even.
It was pretty funny.
No, that was not funny.
It was funny.
You shot at
They
me.
just expect
did.
us to die to line their pockets.
They might.
I am paying you
How much you paying us?
enough.
That's fine.
You get free room and board on this ship. What else do you want?
Not as much
Oh.
as them rich folk.
As long as I got food and a place to do my experiments, I don't care.
All right. So Captain Rorik, he's heading the helm, and he's kind of taking you now. Lord Alessander, you have your own cabin on
Of
this
course
ship.
I
It
do.
is- you have built this ship. It's not really a fighting type of ship. It's a exploratory kind of luxury cruiser.
It's everything that's Lord Alessander deserves. And
Are you sure about that?
well, not the crew, no, but
You have a very high opinion of yourself, and I don't think you can quite reach it.
I spared no expense. No expense.
Excellent.
Popper, he made the ship really big and really nice, and I'd appreciate if you be nice to Lord Alessander. Okay, he
No.
pays. He
I-
pays for
No.
everything on
I'm
this ship.
just letting you know right now. He's the one paying your checks.
You don't get your rockets if you don't get these checks. Okay.
To think about that.
All
Think
right.
long and hard.
All right, so you guys, the ship has been calm. The winds are fair. The clouds are drifting past you at a leisurely rate, and even the kaijus seem to be somewhat less irritable.
They're napping.
Yeah, they're just kind of enjoying the basking in the sun, in the giant ocean below that is a dark void.
Are these Godzillas just like out sunbathing like crocodiles do?
Kind of, yeah. Like you guys are. We'll say you guys are like a few thousand feet in the air, so you can
Right.
see them, and it's just an endless sea beneath you with all the floating islands around. And Yeah, and so you guys, you're floating calmly in the drift. Go ahead and everyone just make perception checks.
That is 10.
Tyler, I perceive that it is tea time.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have a 9. Yes, sir. I bustle away because I somehow always find myself serving the nearest person to me because I should have.
Your nose is brown. We get it.
It's not brown. I'm scared of everyone and everything.
You keep telling yourself
Gotcha.
that, darling.
You will be the first one I murder on this ship.
Oh, you can try.
This is a red stapler moment.
I bustle off, go grab the tea. He's like, here, Lord Alabaster.
Alessander.
Alessander, sir. Sorry. It's a very trying day. I'm not
Thank
used to
you.
it being this
Thank
calm
you.
out in the air.
Yeah, you guys don't really notice anything. Rorik is kind of manning the helm. All seems well, and you guys can see the island off in the distance. A very large island, mostly mountainous with some white-capped mountains on it, but large, kind of these red-purple crystals jutting out like skyscrapers. To which Lord Alessander, quick inquiry: what is the name of your ship?
The Oh, it needs to be more pretentious than that. Sorry, 1 second. More pretentious, more pretentious. The name of the ship is the
Avarice's Bane.
It's got to be something based on his last name.
Alessander.
Pennyworth. So we're gonna go with it's the In for a Penny.
Okay, in for a penny.
You lie.
All right. So
Oh, that's a good tavern name for a D&D campaign.
In for a penny.
Yes, I'm gonna save that one up.
all right, and naming. What is how many weapons are actually on this ship? You're an AA guy. Are you the only AA guy, or are there others?
Oh, I'm definitely not the only AA guy.
Okay.
There's a whole crew of us.
How many would you say are on this luxury cruiser?
Oh, there's like 6 of us.
6 of you. Okay,
And I'm just the newest hire.
gotcha. And Piper, what would you say is the key feature of this ship?
Key features, probably the thrusters that actually allow it to go fast and move, which are my design. Other than that, a lot of pretentious stuff that does not need to be here. Honestly, I think we might be slightly weighed down by all of it.
Is there anything
There's a lot of
specifically-
silver-plated machinery on this ship.
Is there anything special about these thrusters?
So these thrusters, they go very, very fast. They can go hyperspeed, so it's crazy. They can basically go to space if they wanted to, but this ship is not built for that. They also are occasionally, if charged properly, they can actually teleport.
All right.
I told you I spared no expense.
And Tyler, as the navigator, what is the key navigation tool or the unique navigation tool of the ship?
So we have these crystal maps that are actually relatively indestructible, but also foldable. So my ability to actually have full knowledge of the geography of even the air as well as the earth beneath us is quite depth. Also, there's just a simple little device of just circular circumference. I don't even have a name for it. Circumnavigator compass that helps us actually travel like at elevations and still determine that we're not magnetically near anything else that would be of interest. Not even magnetically. It'd almost be like it's a sensor that helps us identify like other sort-of-light ships in the air. So in case we get near anything, this thing will start like rattling. So if it's rattling, it's time to look up, down, and around so we don't exactly have a T-bone in the middle of the air. That thing is always like, it's actually hanging at my chest. Because the moment that's probably shuddering is probably when my heart will start also shuddering, and I will start screaming for the captain to make evasive maneuvers.
All right, you don't like rattling. Got it. No rattling in your
I am a nervous fuck.
I'm gonna break into your room and just shake your bed.
I hate it when you do that. I hate when you do that. You know I sleep poorly.
I know, I'm part of the reason.
I
All
hate
right.
you. I really hate
So,
you.
as you guys are drifting calmly through the sea, or the clouds in this case, we'll call it the Nimbus Sea. As you guys are traveling calmly through the Nimbus Sea, you guys are enjoying a tea time. Nothing seems to be going wrong. You're just, what are you guys all doing in your respective locations on the ship? Other than Tyler and Lord Alessander, who are having tea and serving tea.
Well, you can hear a lot of explosions coming from the lower deck. This is completely normal and par for the course. There's no hole in the ship, so we're fine. But currently, Piper is experimenting and trying to figure out how to enhance the thruster so that they can do even more fun things instead of just teleport.
With all the banging around, I normally, if I was having solo tea time, would be way more enjoying of this. But unfortunately, I am with Lord Alessander, and I'm hearing the banging around of Piper. And so I am trying to hold it together and get some amount of joy out of this tea time that has now been spoiled for me.
All right. And naming.
Naming is hanging out with the other AA guys, and we're your typical soldiers. We're cracking dirty jokes and doing things that make everybody question both our sanity and our sexuality.
All right. Learning way too much about
You're just edging today, aren't you? You're just edging on the side. We should just wait. Did we? So is he naming? Is your character's name?
Yeah.
It's naming now.
It's naming now.
Naming coming is what I have written
Naming
down.
and-
And now that is now what it is.
Okay, I can work with that.
See the tavern rules as a list.
The tavern rules are over there. They're not on camera. No one has any idea what rules we're breaking right now.
And that's why I'm not going any further than that.
All right, good.
So, as this is all happening, you guys are seemingly having a good time. When suddenly, Piper, you notice the last explosion that went off. One of your two thrusters have all of a sudden lost thrust. Tyler, your crystal map has started to rattle uncontrollably.
Oh no.
As it shows the ship itself, the Inn for a Penny, is losing altitude and air pressure rapidly. Lord Alabaster, your tea is beginning to float slightly in the air. And
I'm a very thinly framed individual, so I'm actually slowly floating on myself because I'm such a light, skinny thing. And identifying this panic, though, I immediately just like, oh, we're fine, something's happening, and I just throw my tea, and it like falls in the direction of Lord Alessander.
Excellent. And naming, you and the other AA gunners are realizing that, like, as you're telling these jokes, the beers that you had nearby, the liquid is just slowly ascending into the air.
Tyler, my tea is floating. Make it stop.
I will do that, sir. And I start like trying to swim through the air to like get out of the cabin.
So Piper is a really small person. She's like pretty tiny, but she's got these big metal boots that she uses to like keep herself stationed on the ship.
So this has happened before.
This is not the first time. This is like a once a week occurrence. If we're lucky, it's usually at least like twice a week minimum. Anyway, so she is going to start heading towards the area where the thrusters are to try to fix this problem. Again, she's not panicked or anything like that. She's kind of like again.
All right, make an investigation check for Piper.
Come on, Piper. That's a natural.
Not Piper's day.
Miss Piper, my tea is floating.
Oh, shut up! I'm taking care of it.
Yeah, Piper, on this lowest deck where this thruster is, as you're making your way over to it, you're trying to investigate, and unfortunately, you're not seeing anything wrong. It all looks normal.
Her eyes widen, and she throws on her goggles, and she's like, "We might have a problem."
Captain Rorik calls down to you, Piper. You're having one of your little fits again. I'd really appreciate having a thrust.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it. shush. And she's gonna try to fix the thing or try to figure out what's wrong still.
All right, as you're doing that, Rorik gets over the comm and just goes, to all passengers and crew, we're experiencing a minor delay. Do not worry, do not panic. We will be in the air and proceeding shortly. The island is within grasp. Do not panic. Then he gets back to you and goes, Piper, we working on it. Go ahead and make another investigation check.
I'm working on it.
And as soon as
That
that
is
announcement,
a 11.
11K.
as soon as that announcement comes over the intercom, you all hear just a bunch of whooping and hollering coming from the AA guys, because we know anytime the captain says "don't panic," it usually means a good day's work for us.
All right, and Tyler, you're still floating a little bit.
So I had actually made it out of at least Lord Alisander's cabin, at least. And for some reason, I'm imagining that because this is such a galley, it's such a big, luxurious ship, there's actually like a dining room with like a bunch of tables that are now getting like slightly upended. Like it was all nice and clean 5 minutes ago, but now gravity is starting to like tilt everything, and I'm just still like swimming through the air furiously. And do we have patrons on this ship?
Oh, yeah.
Presumably, like this dining room is loaded
Lord
with
Alistair
just
brought his whole entourage.
Alisander.
Oh, sorry, Alexander. Lord Alistander brought
So
his whole
all of
entourage.
all of Lord Alisander's friends are in there, and they're seeing the panicking navigator swimming his way through the air. It's like, don't worry, nothing's wrong, everything's wrong, nothing's wrong, everything's okay.
All right, and Lord Alistander?
Again, I call down, Piper, Miss Piper.
I'm working on it. What do you need?
You know I spent plenty of money on this ship.
I keep telling you that you should not have installed so much silver plating.
This-
We don't need silver plating. We need armor and mechanical parts. We don't need more weight.
I don't know what you're talking about. There can never be too much silver plating. That's a rule in my family.
Well, the marble was a bit much. We don't need a marble slabs for a gallery.
Then how can we possibly appreciate the engine room when I give tours?
I'm not gonna kill the man. I'm not gonna kill the man.
Piper, with your role, you notice the engine is fine still. There's nothing wrong with it. However, you do notice that the second engine suddenly seems to be having the same issue as the first engine. Go ahead and make another investigation or a mechanical check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Excellent. So you, as you're investigating and working your mechanical genius on this ship, you realize something may have happened. Not necessarily your fault, but one of your lessers was helping you do some maintenance, and a wire got crossed, and all the energy has been put towards the teleporter. Normally, not a hard fix in a dock where the ship is perfectly stable. However, in the air, plummeting to the ground, not a quick, easy fix. It has to be done from the outside. But the teleporter is fully operational and has a little extra juice.
So we're gonna have to take a detour, Captain. Damn, Steven.
Detour as in, like, we're detouring back up? Or are we gonna...
I mean, we're gonna teleport right now, or we're gonna crash and die.
Oh, we gotta teleport.
Now.
Are we okay? Teleporting. He got a nat 20. So yeah,
Thank God.
the captain. You hear all over the intercom. Everyone, if you would be so kind to grab and brace yourself. We are going to experience what I would like to call a controlled crash. And then he goes, and he just kind of yells over the intercom. And as soon as Tyler can get to the captain's quarters, we can initiate that
I'm
teleport.
on my way.
And so,
Get
yeah.
there faster.
Why do so many people have control of the PA in this ship? Get off this channel. This channel is not for you right now. I deal enough with you in the frickin' brig. I finally get like my hand on the knob at the front of the cabin to actually get myself outside
All
to
right.
like go around to where like the captain's.
How do you, now that you're outside, you're in the main hallway that goes straight up to the captain's quarters, but you're floating. How does Tyler get himself to propel himself there quicker?
I have an idea, but I want to actually see if the moment of brilliance comes.
All right, roll it.
That's a 14. Alrighty. So having swum through, and that did not work very well because air is not as dense as water.
Exactly.
I'm on the door and I think, wait, there's still a zero gravity element to this, and I did go to schooling of some kind to be good at maps. So I start just like, wait, I just jump from like edge to edge, just like very scared and nervously and clumsily, but I start just like Spider-Manning my way through the hallways. Like, okay, this is working. This is great. Okay,
All right.
I can get places now.
Make a either athletics or acrobatics check.
16.
All right, yeah. Tyler, you managed to deftly navigate the halls at high speed. Meanwhile, the whole ship is now going full on tilt as the marble and the silver was all towards the front of the ship where everyone has a big glass viewing window so that you can have a nice leisurely stroll through the clouds. And so you're quickly bumping the roof, but you manage to get to the captain's quarters, and you see Captain Rorik there looking at you. He goes, map, right now. I need the map.
I pull it out, unfold it, and just put it on, like hold it out to him.
He grabs it and puts it on like a little device that can read all your equations and navigation
Yeah.
terminology, and he types in the island that you're headed to, and he just punches the teleportation. I need all of you to just make a general, whatever you think your characters would make. Not a skill check. This is like Constitution or some type of like, how are they staying there?
I rolled a
place?
5 and it's around wit. And it's that my character is kind of floating there, like, okay, I accomplished this, but I am anchored to nothing. I am not holding anything in the ship. I'm just happy that I survived this far, and I'm really proud of myself for having an athletic moment in my life. They're rare. And I got the map to the ship and to the captain, and we're going to be able to get this done. And then we zoom off, and whatever happens to me happens.
All right.
So Piper is very used to these kinds of shenaniganeries. So she takes her boots and presses a button on them, and so they actually lock to the floor. And then she actually grabs a helmet from her backpack and puts it over her bat ears. Now she's like, all right, everyone brace yourself.
The rest of the crew begin to put on their helmets. They're experienced this before. Lord Alessander
Is standing up now with his tea, and he's got a cane that's kind of keeping him secured to the floor, looking out the big back window of his cabin, looking out over everything back, and as he's sipping his tea, he says, "My tea is dematerializing." Anyone?
All right, and naming.
Naming and the rest of the AA guys all have perches inside of their lockers that we go to when we know stuff's about to happen. And so we're just in there like clutched to our perches, putting on our AA gear.
All right, and yeah, you guys do this, and as the ship lurches forward, Piper, how does the ship teleport? The captain's put in his punched it. The navigator's put in the coordinates. What does this ship teleporting look like?
So it kind of jolts forward for just a second, then it kind of jolts back, and then it dematerializes and rematerializes in a different location. Sometimes it can materialize in an object if it is not done properly.
Gotcha. So we're talking like what is it called? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yes.
Improbability matrix.
Yes.
I hate it
spend-
every time we do this. I hate it every time
Yeah,
we do
you
this.
spend some time as a rubber duck at some point.
I
And
know the answer to everything. It's 42.
exactly. You guys, yeah, you punch it, and you wind up about, we'll say about 100 feet above the island, slowly at this point descending as the ship has some type of a anti-grav field. However, the ship is still very large and heavy, so slowing for it is, it went from, potentially going down at 150 miles an hour. It's now like down to a 60. So you're still fast approaching. You guys see the ground coming close. The captain is doing his best. He got a 5. So unfortunately, as he crashes, Tyler, you being an individual who was not holding themselves in place, when the teleportation happened, you came with it, of course, because there's a field. But as the ship is now decelerating down, you are on the roof, just pinned to the ceiling of this cabin.
Am I concussed?
Roll for it. Con save. Let's just see what happens.
16
No,
already.
You're fine.
Not concussed, just shocked and remembering that everyone in the bridge has their equipment on to just like be rooted or be magnetized to the ground. And I said to go, why'd I get out of bed today?
Why didn't you put on your your stabilizers and stuff?
As Piper's
This is
voice
on
rings
you.
in your head.
This is really on you, buddy.
All right, so yeah, Lord Alessander, you materialize and you see that like the ship. You're looking at the back and the ship is going down. How does Lord Alessander with his cane? How is he holding up with the ship quickly going towards the ground?
As it's decelerating, are we going into a canyon? Where are we?
You're going towards the ground, so there's lots of these giant purplish red crystals jutting out of the ground.
Right.
And the rest of it looks kind of like a mixture between a black sand beach, but with like volcanic, craggy rock all around.
He first pushes a button on my cane. I push a button on my cane first to call the bridge, and I say, "Captain, never mind, and I'll handle it." And then he pushes another button on his cane, calling down to the
Landing
anti-air
Wait.
team down below. Good sirs, would you mind loading the harpoon guns and seeing if you can't catch our ship on something?
On it.
All right. Roll naming. Roll to see if you and your crew can potentially launch these harpoon guns. And what are you launching them at?
Well, I got an 11. We're just launching at the largest thing on the ground.
So there's like several of these sky-high, giant black or red and purple crystals.
Yep.
So you're just
Shooting at
firing at
that.
them. Okay. And you fire them off. Now, unfortunately, out of the 6 of you, only 2 of you managed to land a target. They're going wild. 2 of the harpoons. But the nice thing is now the front of the ship is somewhat level with the back of the ship. You're still approaching the ground, not as fast. You've slowed down to probably 30 miles an hour. Still looking like you're gonna crash, but less so. Tyler, you're able to touch ground again.
Able to touch.
And
Aw.
Captain Rourke sees you on the ground and just goes, "Pick yourself up, rub some dirt in it. We got more problems."
Yes, Captain. What can I do? What can I do, Captain?
Pray. That's all I can say is pray.
I've been doing that since I got on this ship, sir. It doesn't help.
And with that, okay, the captain is able to get the ship just enough so that the underside of the ship slams into some of that black sand, kind of decreasing the speed, and able to land fairly decently. However, I need all of you to once again make another roll. This time is to see how well you brace the impact.
That's a natural 1.
That's a 2.
9.
14.
All right. Tyler, you go sailing forward towards the front of the bridge, slamming into the glass, cracking it just a little bit. And we'll say that you take some damage. We'll say either you suffer some type of a head injury or a hand or a leg might be a little
At this
more
point, I can just be
damaged.
concussed for the rest of this this episode. I just have an ice pack just on me for the rest of the episode.
Nice
There you
one.
go. And Piper, your magnetic boots, you have them on, and while you are in them, they don't necessarily stop your body from being a noodle. So as you hit the ground, you just collapse downward, your head and back smacking into the ground. Luckily, your head's encased, but your back now has a very sharp twinge to it as you feel sharp pains all throughout.
They hurt. They hurt.
Lord Alabaster, your cane seemingly has just drifted away from you, still standing perfectly straight.
Yeah, it's
As you drift forward and slam into the door of your cabin. Luckily, your door is well made and stops you from, falling down through the core of your ship. But you're already back pains, maybe?
yes.
Yeah, they're now inflamed a little bit as you're starting to feel those old battle injuries.
Yes.
And naming, you and the other AA gunners managed to very deftly get into your AA guns and just kind of put yourself Spider-Man style in directions and hold yourself steady. You don't take any kind of damage or harm, but you do notice that one of the AA guns is missing.
Ruh-roh.
And then there was 5.
Bye, Dave.
He was the one I really connected with.
So yes, you now have you have successfully landed on this island, but you don't know what's to be expected on this island. Piper, go ahead and make either an investigation or mechanics check.
I'll do. Doesn't matter either way. That's a 3 on the die.
Yeah, you go to the engines and they look rough. Whoever
I'm gonna
repaired
need
this.
a lot of duct tape.
Whoever repaired this last, they did not do several things correctly, and your engines have some feedback into them, along with a bunch of fuel in the actual engine, not in the tank, but in the engine itself leaking out the back.
Are the engines still technically on?
A little bit.
She's gonna look to all of the people there, and she's gonna message to the captain. I need everyone off the ship like right now. And she
Why? We landed.
Because there is gasoline in the engine.
Can you just like flush the engine or something? Is that a thing you can do?
With what?
I don't know. I'm not the mechanic.
Get off the ship!
Captain, what's happening?
Tyler, apparently there is flammable liquid inside the engine, and the engine is still on.
Can we just turn them off?
Piper, can we turn the engines off?
I'm gonna see if that's even possible. Is it possible?
I like to think if the engines are off, nothing can catch fire.
Rorik is, yeah, he doesn't know. Piper, go ahead and roll whatever you think, and we'll see.
It's a
Captain, you're doing great.
Yeah, the captain's, your anxiety is starting to transfer onto him a little bit, although your calm is
Well,
now.
I'm calm because I'm concussed out of my gourd right now.
This ship is a little bit different than most ships. It's one of those ships, kind of like a train. It doesn't turn off. And that's how it is able to do all the things and power itself, and it basically is a house. So, Piper, when asked, can you turn it off, just kind of stands there and goes, I don't know. With a 6, she can't.
I just start mumbling. It's like, why did this bastard Alessander want a retroactive fucking historical ship from gasoline when there's sort of like crystals everywhere? This could have been avoided entirely. And I fall.
Everyone, get off the ship!
I fall asleep in the
Rorik
bridge.
will communicate to Lord Alessander. So your lordship, looks like there's fuel in the engine and the engines are on and we can't figure out how to turn the engines off. So there might be a fire.
Well, no.
or
Why would they
explosion.
turn off?
I would assume that you want engines to power down at some point.
Then how do we run the entertainment system?
I see now where some of our problems came from.
I'd just like to point out that Ryan has just put himself as just the high chair after being the first DM for you all. He's like, yes, I will be the cush one on this one after surviving the first 3 DMs live at We Geek.
Very good. Let's disembark, I suppose.
Everyone off! I keep saying now, I mean now! You're gonna die.
Captain Rorik starts to abandon ship, not turning on any of the systems that, start an alarm. He got a 7, so yeah, none of the alarms are going off because Captain Rorik is in a panic. Does Lord Alice?
Yeah, Alessander-
notified.
Alessander wanders into the next room and sees his entourage there and splayed about and says, come along now, come along. We're leaving, apparently.
Make a like a persuasion or a speech check to see
Yeah.
how well.
That's a 15.
15.
He says, very good, very good. Come on. Now, stand up. Yes, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. Come on.
Some of the elderly, like they're getting up, hobbled on their canes, but for the most part, the rest of them come rushing as you beckon.
Yeah, so I, as I'm moving around them, I'm definitely, and without breaking character, getting them all positioned and into escape pods on each side of the ship.
What
I
does
feel like
those-
you would
what-
hit them with your cane.
What do those?
Move along. Let's go.
There you go. What do those escape pods look like?
They're like little cage kind of things, like that just close around you, and then they lower down from the ship with on chains.
Okay. And do they fly or do they just they hang?
No, they just come down until they hit the ground, and the chains will lower down, and then they will just keep it. You know what? They will start to, once they get to the end, it's like a rip cord on a parachute pulls out, and then a little umbrella opens up on the top and starts spinning around and runs an anti-grav machine that lowers them down the rest of the way to the ground.
All right. Naming.
I see all the rich folk getting in their escape pods, and I'm just complaining to the other AA guys. Like, you see that? The rich get to get off of this thing now that they're in danger. Now we got to stay here and defend this thing from nothing, apparently.
I push a button on my cane, and all of the pods in the AA, all of the harpoon guns and stuff like that, all eject from the ship as well.
Make another Constitution save. See if you and the harpoon men.
No.
Yeah, you guys. The machines go off. The two of you that got them hooked into some crystals go kind of spiraling off. The surviving three of you, however, fall to the ground, and you're all concussed now or suffering some type of not major injury, but you haven't broken anything, but a lot of things are sore now.
Then with the last thing I'm doing is I'll walk over to Tyler and just pick him up off the ground, and with my cane, we'll step out of the ship, and the cane itself will also turn into an umbrella that floats us down to the ground, and then I'll dump Tyler down in front of the captain. It says, "Are we all accounted for?"
Yeah, the captain, as you do this, the captain grabs the map off of it because he's like, I think we'll probably need this. And then rushes out, and he sees you and just leaps on and grabs around you as everyone else has gotten off. You guys get off, and you immediately see the engines ignite. Just they're on fire. After probably an hour, you guys are just sitting there in awe of this massive tinderbox. However, oddly enough, the ship is not made out of a lot of wood. Because Lord Alessander did not put a lot of wood in it. It was mostly marble, silver.
In for a penny, in for a pound. That's what I say.
The ship as a whole is mostly intact. Just some minor components and a lot of smoke damage were taken out.
Well, that was a lot less climactic than I thought it would be. I'll be honest, I thought it was going to explode. But I'm very happy for this.
All right, so now you guys are on this island with these very valuable crystals, but no way to get back to Eastock. What are you guys gonna do now that you're on this island?
I'm gonna roll to see if I wake up. That's an 8, which I'll take as like.
Go for it.
That's a 12.
It's a 13. I stay asleep.
Actually,
You're
no,
wearing now remember you're wearing heavy metal boots.
Oh, I am.
Advantage. Where are you kicking me?
In the side.
Thank God. Go again. It's a 10. You still don't beat the 13. So now I'm gonna have like a bruised kidney and a concussion.
All right. So yeah, you
Well,
guys.
he's dead. I say we eat him now.
Hyper immediately resorting to violence and cannibalism.
That's just how you do it. We're stranded. The first step is that.
Cannibalism. Not securing shelter or food, but cannibalism.
No, cannibalism. I never really liked him anyway.
All right. What is everyone else doing?
Does Tyler have the map of everything?
It's all in his satchel.
Okay.
Yeah, all the maps are in the satchel. The captain has the one copy that was at least relevant to trying to land on this
Right,
island.
Okay,
I'd
so
like
we-
to think I'm aware of this island. It's just that it's not accessible. because I'm unconscious. So yeah, my satchel would have all the crystal maps or whatnot, and there's no like lock on it really.
All right. With another button push on my cane, you see a large chest eject from the penny.
All right.
And it falls down, and no parachute, just thuds down into the ground. this big foot locker.
All right.
And I will open it up and pull out a safari helmet cap and a a jacket and some boots that I'll
All
tie
right.
up around. And I'll just point randomly at one of the artillerymen. You good sir, you look like you're new here.
I am.
Great. Grab some weapons and help out Miss Piper here. We're going to set off on our own. Where's the map?
I say that
map
we
guy.
feed him to the bears or use him as cannon fodder.
Or we could, try and wake him up.
I already tried that. I kicked him twice, and he didn't wake up. I think he's dead.
That was an interesting strategy you employed there. Perhaps we should use some smelling salts or something. And from the
I'm about to eat a
bandolier that he
face.
just put on.
Oh, don't worry, I got this. And I just stick my clawed foot up in his face.
I'll just wake up from that.
for that.
You get the smell of like 6 really sweaty dudes and just a lot of liquor who have been confined to a very small, hot space for several days.
It's that sour smell from like gym class that for the kids that just never took their gym clothes home.
Exactly.
And their gym clothes are just like a certain type of origami now. You can't exactly describe the shape, but it's grotesque.
and it's standing on its own.
yeah, I levitate up from my heels up, just oh, what happened?
I thought you died. You didn't.
Are you disappointed? Bitch. Captain.
Also, you notice that your side really hurts.
Oh, what?
Make a medicine check real quick for me.
17.
One of your ribs is broken.
I start counting them and just notice one just bends.
Piper starts.
Oh, oh. Wait, how did I break a rib?
I don't know.
Captain.
Yeah.
What? Where? Wait. What happened? Where are we?
We're on the island you charted.
Right. Wait, what map did we use?
He gives you the map.
Okay. I know this.
Do you know any of the local fauna or flora?
I'm actually gonna let you paint this one. All right, it's an 18. It's like, okay, so this is a standalone island that's actually just filled with all of these crystals, and at least from the notes that I can recall from class, nothing lives here. It's a barren place of these crystals that like are of value, but no one has figured out how to use them.
All right.
If that makes sense.
So there's nothing that we got to worry about on the island.
Not for my cursory memory, but my head hurts right now.
All right. So then I think we should start getting some supplies, some shelter, and see if we can't figure out how to not die on this island until Piper, can you get the engines running again?
I'm gonna try.
I go, what's wrong with the engines? I look back to see that the thing's charred. I'm like, what happened?
My guess is probably half the thing is melted. If the fabricator is still up and running, I can use that. However, if the fabricator is not working, I'm gonna need all of the duct tape.
All right, what does fantasy duct tape look like? This Magitech duct tape?
So fantasy duct tape, Magitech duct tape, is it's a roll of silver duct tape. It looks like normal duct tape, except the bottom end, the part where it's sticky, is all purple and glowy. What it does is it just kind of fuses things together, and they don't come apart. So if you fuse it to itself, you can actually build structures, and it basically creates a metal thing.
All right.
Once again,
So-
we're going to Zelda this thing.
There you go.
Oh no, does the duct tape look like blue cheese? Oh.
So yeah, you
Hey,
guys.
Steven, I think hit his head on impact.
And you guys are now on this island. Piper is gonna see if she can repair the engines. What are the rest of you all doing now?
Well, as soon as the AA guys heard that there were potentially no enemies on this island, we all just got really depressed. We really wanted to tear something apart.
All right.
You could try each other.
I've already done that
We're
3 times in the past week.
Is that why there's so few of you?
Again, you're just edging. You're just edging this whole.
We heal very quickly.
I did not need to know about your love life.
Now the question here is what do you all look like? As you guys have not really described yourselves.
I'm a very simple, just human. Like I'm just small human that's ended up on this ship after going through cartography school. And my mother's like, you should probably stay in school. Your temper is not that good. Your fortitude is not that high as like a person and a character, and you're small. But I wanted to prove her wrong, and I'm still trying to prove her wrong.
Piper.
I am a 3 foot tall, tiny, fruit bat-like creature. I've got wings and big ears, and a pair of goggles. She looks like a typical kind of white bat. Nothing particularly interesting about her other than
Like the white
she's-
bat from Anastasia.
That's
Yeah,
what
like
I
the
thought.
white bat
I was
from
thinking.
Anastasia.
Yes,
That's exactly
gotcha.
what she looks
All
like.
right,
Only
all
a
right.
tiny humanoid-shaped bat.
Gotcha. All right. And Lord Alessander.
Lord Alessander he's not old. He's not like, but he's got, full beard and just, it hasn't turned white yet. Maybe has like a streak.
Well groomed.
Yeah, well groomed. Always well
He
groomed,
looks
and
like you, but fancy.
He's got a monocle. Yeah, fancier.
Salt and pepper
Like-
in the beard, right?
like take me, make me tall, a little bit taller, a little bit skinnier, and athletic.
Military background.
Yeah, military. Definitely military background, but an officer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. A
and
man of stature, man of
clearly,
respect.
Yeah. Like,
Unfazed by any of this.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
He is the modern major general, but back when he was actually
The
in
modern
good
age.
faith.
and naming.
So the interesting thing about the AA fighters, we're all bird people, and to most outside eyes, we all look identical. But we have very intricate markings on our feathers that identify what family we're from,
All right.
that tell us apart. And
Like
in
some
this
Scottish
particular
tartan
group-
stuff, kind of.
Yeah,
That's
There you
dope.
go.
we actually have some rivalries within our own AA.
Group.
They're a
The
Romeo and
McCullens
Juliet
and the
situation.
McClan. All right. So as you guys are kind of getting yourself established, you guys can hear things kind of crackling and clicking out in the wilderness. Go ahead and make a perception check real quick.
That's a 2.
That is cocked.
Oh, and I was probably just sitting there with an ice
10.
pack, just like kind of checking my notes to see if I am misremembering anything.
All right.
14.
14.
10.
10. Tyler, you notice that as the captain is wandering kind of just out a little ways to look at see what's going on, kind of trying to judge the topography, in one blink of the eye, you see what looks to be a large crystal-like claw come out, and Captain Rorik is no more, impaled by 5 large crystalline hands, and then he's gone.
That's not good.
And I
Yoink.
think that's where we'll end it for now.
Alrighty.
Mr. Piper, our captain is disappearing.
Oh, well, to be continued.
To be continued.
That sounds like a you problem.
That's a we problem, Piper!
Fix the engines. I got my own job. What are you doing? Reading the map? Oh, look, it's land.
Now with Tyler being sufficiently burned, we'll see you next episode.